Vishnupa Rashtarashatashmad Srila Bhaktivedānta Narayan Gosvāmī Māhārāja Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitila Vishnu Vishnupa Rashtarashatashmad Srila Bhaktivedānta Vāmana Gosvāmī Māhārāja ki jai. Nitila Vishnu Vishnupa Rashtarashatashmad Srila Bhaktivedānta Swami Māhārāja Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitila Vishnu Vishnupa Rashtarashatashmad Srila Bhakti Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vishnupa Rashtarashatashmad Srila Bhakti Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Maha Bhagavat Srila Goksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vaishnav Sarva Bhoma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadasha Gunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Hairas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vaja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Mona Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Srila Jiva Goswami Pada ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Shri Jagadish Pandit ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Dandavat Pranams Garg Rajji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams Indira Mataji. Hari Bol. Sorry I'm so late today. I had a very late night last night. Okay. So, let's just jump right into it. The corruptive power of ulterior motives. Two types of donors. One motivated, the other sincere and selfless. The worst fate for the sadhak is to be cheated of Guru and Vaishnav's mercy. Wholehearted service versus the logic of Padma. So this is to Umadidi in 1976 from Jagannath Puri. Snehaspadasu. Ma Uma. Even a modest donation for service is not negligible, but ample and cause to be proud even a modest donation for service is not negligible, but ample and a cause to be proud, right? Oh no, you could say and cause to be proud. There are those who make a show of offering financial support and donations, hoping for some gain, adoration, or prestige. Their tactic of sacrifice is referred to as, or illustrated by the proverbs, Bhyanger Adhuli and Karmir Kanakadi. There's a long footnote here. So, Bhyanger Adhuli. I think that means exploding frog. Actually, I don't know what Adhuli means. Usually I see it, it's called Bhyanger Pata, and that means exploding frog. A frog once lived in a pond. One day he happened to dig up and ate on a coin. As soon as the frog found the coin, he said to himself vainly, "Who is wealthier than I?"
This time, when the king's elephant comes to drink water, I will stop him and not let him. I will stop him and not let him to drink." Saying this, the frog went and sat on the coin on the steps of the pond. Just then, the Mahot, how do you say that? Mahot? Mahot. I don't know how you say that. Anyways, the elephant rider. Just then, the Mahot brought the elephant down to the pond. The frog quickly leapt off his coin, landing on the elephant's feet, underneath which he perished that very moment. Okay, this is different than Byangar Pata. In this world, the resources of those who pride themselves as great heroes of fruit of work are as trivial as the frog's penny. The karmi's prowess can be pulverized at any moment by the wheel of material existence. Prowess is but an effect of the material energy. Sorry, this could probably be explained a little bit more clearly, though. Like it should say landing below the frog. Landing below, not at. Sorry, guys. Let me just. Oh, okay. Okay. So the karmi's prowess can be pulverized at any moment by the wheel of material existence, as that prowess is but an effect of the material energy. Gita 3:27 has thus stated, "Prakrite kriyamana ni gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimuratma kartaham iti." Out of false pride, the living entity indulges in the egotism of "I am the doer," and thinks that he has accomplished the functions that are in fact produced by the modes of material nature. Such conceited people imagine that they are masters of the pleasures of this world and want to exert their reign upon the earth. They cannot understand that at any moment the goddess of material nature can smash their huge mansion of pride to the ground. The earth does not care if you are independent or dependent. Someone who is a king today becomes a beggar on the wayside tomorrow, and likewise, the person who is a beggar today tomorrow becomes intoxicated with the conceit of destructible opulences. And let's see, Karmir Kanakari. Karmis are of two types, Sukarmi and Kukarmi. The Sukarmi engages in pious work and waits for the results, and the Kukarmi does evil because he wants quick profit. When, with use, the Sukarmi's coins get cracks in them, the Kukarmi gathers them up. These cracked coins, called Kanakari, defunct, have no value. They cannot be used in the market. The Kukarmi thinks he is a boss with so many coins that he has lots of money, lots of possessions, lots of women in his collection. He has a storehouse loaded up with such defunct things as useless as piles of dirt. If a person does not utilize his kanak, his gold, his kamani, his romantic interest, and his pratishta, prestige, in Krishna's service, then all these items in his storehouse are kanakari, and he is a kukarmi. There should be parentheses, not. And both of those are excerpts from the Upakyane Upadesh of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay. So Srila Vāmana Goswami Maharaj continues. Any devious desires, abhilash, that remain in the heart, make way for prakrit karma jadavad, the material dogma of fruit of work. And that is definitely not favorable for rendering service to Krishna. Inner inclination and intention must be taken into consideration. That is why Shriman Mahaprabhu said, Vishayir anakaile malin hoy man, malin man hoyle nahe, Krishnera smaran. If one eats food cooked by those engrossed in material enjoyment, one's mind becomes contaminated, and once the mind is contaminated, one will not remember Krishna. The reason Swachanda Vana Jata Shaka, wild forest greens, are recommended is because no one's consciousness enters into them. Therefore, they are near gun, beyond the modes of material nature, and the real means of subsistence. Does that mean people's consciousness even goes into vegetables like that are grown not just wild in the forest? That's so interesting. Okay. There are many donors who immediately after giving just small donation to the Sri Gaudiya Math mission or to our Sri Bhaktivedānta Samiti have compelled management to put up nameplates for display to the public, even prior to the completion of the temple and residences. Which category these donations fall into has been surely ascertained by Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. The strong ethics they propound and their clear statements have been published in more than one article and collection of letters. The tattva siddhanta of the negative aspects of charity have been established therein. Then again, tomara dhan tomaya diye, tomara hoye rai. I give your wealth to you, and I too come to belong to you. This attitude has also been preserved alongside that negative aspect. I need to look this up. I'll do that later though. This attitude has also been preserved along the negative aspect. Actually, I think you can remove the there and just say that negative aspect. Okay. One donor, when asked to acquire the land for Sri Gaudiya Math in Bagh Bazar, said, Vinod Babu, I have given you the plates and I will give you the meal too. In other words, in addition to donating the land, he accepted responsibility for constructing the temple and other facilities, thereby gaining the blessings of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. If one cannot become sincere and free from worldly attachments, one cannot become a sevak or sevika at heart. Donations of wealth certainly constitute service. That is why Śrīmad Bhagavatam has said, an intelligent person will seek the ultimate good through his vital energy, wealth, intelligence, for this is the success of life. In the 11th canto, verse 38, it is stated, Mamarcha stapane shraddha svata samhatya chodyama udyano pavanakrida pura mandira karmani. Expressing love and attachment for the establishment of my deity form entails concerted efforts, both individually and collectively, in constructing flower gardens, orchards, playgrounds, fields, residential areas, temples, and so on, as well as sincerely cleaning them, coating the grounds with cow dung, watering the vegetation, and painting mandala signs. One should serve the house of the Lord thus. It is only from mutual connection and proper knowledge of the relationship between ashray, refuge, and the ashrit, the refugee, that qualification and eagerness for the path of bhajan increases. Besides the Guru and Vaishnavas, there is no other alternative arrangement to progress on our path in life. There cannot be. Only through the mutual connection and proper knowledge of the relationship between the ashray and ashrit. There is no other alternative for progress. To be cheated of their grace and to deviate from bhajan is the same thing. This alone is the ultimate misfortune, the worst fate for the sadhak or sadhika. Guru and Vaishnav's multitude of transcendental qualities and supermundane status are beyond the comprehension of material knowledge and awareness. In that context, it is said, Yame Vaishya Vrinute Tena Labhya. Only he who is chosen is the Supreme Lord. I think it should be only he whom the Lord chooses attains. Yeah, this could be a better translation. The Lord only reveals himself to who he accepts. This is the only measure of qualification. Both Bhagavan and his bhakta are affectionate to those who take shelter of them. There is no doubt about that. The inclination to serve is the exclusive ornament or decoration of the surrendered soul. To utilize one's all in all in service is called full atma samarpan, offering of the self. A truly surrendered soul, or one who has fully offered himself, has no other focus and no ulterior desires or fancies. In that state, there can be no commercial interest, business of materialistic giving. If one thinks to keep track of a percentage for oneself, one succumbs to the logic of Padma. And then there's a footnote here. What is the logic of Padma? Padma, our Queen Padmavati, was the wife of Ugrasen and mother of Kamsa. Her infamous logic, as found in the Sri Brihad Bhagavatamritam 1673-75, assumes that money can compensate regarding matters of the heart. One day, Sri Krishna was utterly heartbroken in separation from the Vrajvasis when grandmother Padmavati, in rather poor taste, attempts to console him as follows. Why are you grieving? Listen to my advice. You two brothers lived in Vraj in that cowherd Nanda's house for 11 years. The Yadu king, Ugrasen, will have Garga Muni calculates every lack of whatever goods you have consumed during that time, whether or not they gave you something for taking care of their cows, and will repay that cowherd king double the amount they are owed. I swear. So that's the logic of Padma. If one thinks to keep track of a percentage for oneself, one succumbs to the logic of Padma. This is not an attitude of service and will end up being but a limb of mundane karma. I am less than an insect or bacteria. I am vile and sinful. If this sort of notion appears, then there is a possibility of auspiciousness. And instead, one's motives are to gain prestige. And if, instead, one's motives are to gain prestige and advertise one's good fortune, that same activity will act as poison. It will act as a poison. By the causeless mercy and Vaishnavas, even the impossible is made possible. Kakere Garuda kore aiche doyamoe. They are so merciful that they can turn a crow into Garuda. He quotes that a lot, that one. Kakere Garuda kore aiche doyamoe. I understand that your mother's health is not good. Please convey to her my requests that she stay at home in this advanced age and perform kirtan and smaran of Sri Nam. Tell her to stay in Chunchura and meditate on the Śrīmads at deities, Sri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu, Shri Radha Gopinath Ju, and Jagannath Dev. Tell her to sing the song of the Mahajans. Agya dila more, e braje vose, Hari nama korogana. Make that. Guru instructed me to sit here in this land of Raj and sing the name of Hari. I know that she does not want to give you any trouble. Nevertheless, you should take responsibility for taking care of her at all times. In both realms, social and spiritual, she is your Shiksha Guru. She should stay at home and continually serve She should stay at home and continually serve Sri Gopal Dev, from which she will reap the fruit of visiting the dhams of Mathura, Vrindavan, Navadvip, and Puri. Because of her sickness, it is proper that she avoid contact with people. Do explain all these things to her properly. I have shown the ornaments, eating plates, fabric, and outfits you sent as gifts for the deities to the sevaks here, and they are very delighted, wishing you all spiritual good fortune and praising you. There surely is a hole in Srimati Radharani's nose, even if it cannot be seen with material eyes. There will not be any convenience in that regard. The nose ring your mother has wanted to offer can be affixed to Srimati can be affixed, and Srimati will surely accept it. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Radharani has a dot under the end. Your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. All right. One second, I just want to blow my nose really quickly. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. I don't have a sore throat right now, but I can feel one coming. I have yeah. Let me look who's all here now. Haribol, Shamala Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, and Dandavat Pranam Prajumna Prabhu Mantaji, and Madhavi Didi, Rup Manjari, and Champak Didi. Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Okay. Taking advantage of the opportunity for dham parikrama. The power of Guru and Vaishnav's mercy. The grace of Guru is everything. Is everything. Gotta fix that. The power of Guru and Vaishnav's appearance days. Repentance is the best atonement. The heart must melt when performing spiritual practices. A bona fide Guru's potency can help us forget our worldly endeavors. This is written to Umadidi in 1977 and from Śrīmad Gaudiya Math. Snehaspadasu. Ma Uma. Shriman, names redacted, Shriman blank, went to see you but could not find you and came back. And he also did not have more time to wait. However that turned out, it is a matter of great fortune that you are able to participate in Shri Puri Dham Parikrama and the month-long Niyam Seva Palanotsav, festival of observing vows. It doesn't need. How many people have the fortune of getting the opportunity to cultivate their absorption in the hearing and chanting of Shri Hari's Katha and good association on a regular basis? Shri Hari's Katha or just Hari Katha? Okay. So many people are most eager to go touring, either within their native country or abroad, but only those with sukh desire or long to visit Shri Dham or the holy tirthas and the association of saints. In order to establish such opportunities, one must make an effort to give up concerns for worldly gain or loss. Otherwise, one will be cheated of the good fortune that is available for only a brief moment. Everything underlined is written in English. He wrote originally in English. So, time and tide wait for none. Once an opportunity goes, it does not come back again. Not everyone gets the same type of opportunity and facility. You have to bear your worldly or practical duties and responsibilities as you progress on the path of spiritual life. Otherwise, misunderstandings are created in this world, and disorder, disputes, and disagreements are seen. Though the rule or conception of sacrificing trivial self-interest for the sake of the greater interest remains popular, often lesser interest cannot be avoided. By the blessings of the devotees, all types of inauspiciousness or obstacles are whisked away. This is a steadfast truth. By the auspicious grace of sadhu, guru, and Vaishnavas, the unachievable can be achieved. By their causeless compassion, even the impossible becomes possible. Inconceivable transcendental events that can never be comprehended by the intelligence of worldly men are seen transformed into tangible reality by the grace of sadhus and guru. Earthly, mundane logic and reasoning are incapable and incompetent in regard to addressing such matters. Here, the understanding that only he who is chosen by the Lord attains him, yame vaisya vrinute tena labhya, is applicable. This is a bad translation. Anyways, we've read it just up above. Anyways, I'll add that in later. Kripa, mercy, is more glorious than sadhan, effort. This is certainly proven here. Only when sadhan and kripa converge is it possible to achieve perfection. Shri Guru Kripa hi kevalam. The grace of Guru is everything. Without mercy, the sadhak or sadhika cannot have knowledge of tattva. Shri Guru is the captain to take one across the ocean distance. The human form of life is the root of spiritual practice. The ultimate ruin or misfortune is to obtain the rarity of birth as a human. The ultimate ruin or misfortune is to attain the rarity of birth as a human, but be averse to worshipping Krishna. When, by saintly association, the jiva becomes conscious of his true duty, then and only then does the desire to engage in bhajan strengthen, and he thus progresses on the path of sadhan. On this path, the bona fide guru is the only resort, or ashray. That is why the ashray vigraha is he who directs one in serving the vishay vigraha and shows the path. Shri Bhagavan's wish dictates his incarnation, and therefore is known as the Prakash Vigraha, the manifest form. Shri Gurudev is the potency of Nityananda. He is non-different from the tattva represented by Baladev. Guru tattva is indivisible and eternal. Nitayar charana satya tahara sevaka nitya. The lotus feet of Nitai are the absolute truth, and his servant is eternal. This is the special quality shared by master and servant and their mutual relationship and interaction. The bona fide guru is eternally the well-wisher of his followers and is occupied in thinking about their welfare. This responsibility and duty of his is forever, and this favor is an unpayable debt. If, on the auspicious appearance days of Shri Guru and Vaishnavas, Jiva engages in glorifying them, his welfare is assured. Hari Guru Vaishnava tenera smaran, tenera smarane hoy vigna vinashan. Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, by remembering these three, all of one's obstacles will be destroyed. Vaishnavera gunagan korile jivera tran. Singing the glories of the Vaishnavas ensures the jiva's deliverance. This decree is in accordance with proper conduct. No matter how many disqualifications the sadhak or sadhika may possess, no matter how dejected or wretched they may be, they take shelter of these sacred days as an auspicious conjunction or moment in which to settle their accounts. Regret and are the best atonement. That is what purifies one on the inside. If one is not fixed and determined in following proper discipline, inner purity does not come. Satvasya shuddhim paratma bhaktim jnanam cha vijnana viraga yuktam. Remembrance of his feet purifies the heart and grants devotion to Supreme Soul, along with renunciation endowed with knowledge, endowed with knowledge. Endowed with knowledge, endowed with knowledge. Endowed with knowledge and realized knowledge, probably. Anyways, that's definitely not right. What the heck? Jnanam cha vijnana yuktam. Anyways, I will go over that. It's kind of embarrassing. The tradition of confession in Christianity was adopted from the eternal Arya scriptures. Prabhu bole ar tora na kari sa pap, jagai madai bole are nare bap. It should be karis, not karisa. It should be pop, like long A. My God. And actually, since this is, anyways, okay. And this will be a small L. Okay. The Lord said, "You must not sin again." Jagai and Madha said, "No more, Father." Should be a space in between that. Okay. This Ar Nare Bap, this Ar Nare Bap confession is an integral part of penance or atonement. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu made Jagai and Madhai. Sorry guys, Śrīmad Mahaprabhu made Jagai and Madhai vow in front of Guru Nityananda. Without such a confirm and determined resolution, the urge to sin returns and tries to pervert and pollute the pure inclinations of the heart. Words of greeting and obeisance express Atma-nivedan, surrender of the self, and Sharanagati, taking refuge. In Smriti, the details of Ashtanga Pranam, prostrations of the body employing all 8 major limbs, and Sharanga Sharanagati, 6-fold surrender, have been described. Although these have been specifically detailed in verses such as Padbhyam, Janubhyam, Shirasa, and Anukulyasa Sankalpa, Scripture informs us that the inner aspects are the real matter. If one's heart does not melt when observing spiritual practices, if mental transformation does not come, such activities yield only futility. Hridaya hoite bole, jivar agrete chale, shabda rupe nache anukhan. That's from the song Krishna Nam Dhare Kotabol. It speaks from the it refers to Srinam. That needs to be clarified, I think. It speaks from within the heart. It situates itself on the tip of the tongue, and it dances constantly in the form of sound, vibration. That is transcendental Shabda Brahma, or Shri Nam Brahma. That Shri Nam enters the heart through the pathway of the ears and creates a sweet vibration there. From that, the consciousness becomes anxious and manifests a desire to obtain the audience of the designated subject, Vachya, Shri Krishna Chandra. Purva itihas bholino sakal seva sukha pemane. I've forgotten all my past history while reveling in the bliss of service. Amito tomar, tumito yamar, ki kajaya paradhane. I am yours, you are mine. What else is of any worth? Herein is the awakening of Sambandha Gyan. The potency of a bona fide Guru's grace, this S is not italicized. The potency of a bona fide Guru's grace can help us forget all our past history, or in other words, all of our worldly endeavors or sense of it, and protect us from its clutches. In this matter, his causeless mercy is our only resource. Is his referring to Shri Guru. Okay. We must vow to serve Rishikesh. Long I. We must vow to serve Hrishikesh, Sri Bhagavan, with our senses, which Bhagavan has given us. The bona fide guru is always happy and well. Tattva Vigyan can never be inferred from the mundane, which is why the devotees and their Lord are qualified by the adjective aprameya, immeasurable. Although there is some difference between darshan and through shotapat, the path of hearing, or kirtan, and direct darshan, everyone nurtures the hope of direct darshan. Hasta Yukta Navami is on 30th of Posha. Accept my loving blessings. Iti. Forever your well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Only the one-pointed devotee is truly concerned for the future. He has no other focus than meditating in separation from Krishna. We want to be indebted to Guru and Vaishnavas. Inner Shraddha is the real offering. If you chant a fixed number of Shrinam, Shri Bhagavan reveals his sarup. Paramagurudev's finesse and generosity. Finesse. Is that the right word? Great subtlety and tact in are manipulating people or difficult situations. Bring about our deal with something by using great delicacy and skill. Karen spent 10 months finessing the... It has lots of negative connotations, though, it seems like. Anyways, I'll just highlight this. Okay. Shishi Guru Gurango Jayata. This is written in 1977. Let me just see if there's any comments. Hari Bol Ganga Didi. Okay, Rupanjali. Yes, I'll do all those things. Yani Yasu. Dear blank, after many days, I received your inland letter dated 11/11/76 at the Shiliguri Mutt after I returned from preaching in Assam and northern Bengal. Now time is very short. There are only 3 or 4 days till Sri Dham Navadip Parikrama. I am not sure if this letter will reach your hands before Parikrama or not. Sri Bhagavan is truly full of auspiciousness. It is by his sweet will that one opportunity and fortune of beholding all the tirthas, etc., and the association of Guru and Vaishnavas. The sadhak or sadhika's life becomes blessed if he or she can appreciate the causeless mercy of Sri Bhagavan. The devotee can only become fully reliant on Sri Bhagavan by one-pointed nishta, conviction. Only the ekanishta devotee is capable of proper consideration of the... A person bereft of bhajan is deplorable and unconscious. Kasya tvam va kutayat tattvam chintaya tad idam prata. Who are you? Where did you come from? Think on this truth, brother. Dhana jivana jovana Dhana jovana jivana rajasukam nahi nityam anukshana nasha param. Wealth, life, youth, royal pleasures, all these are not eternal. They are at every moment prone to destruction. It should say wealth, life, youth, and royal pleasures. There should be an and. Those who do not have such concerns are materialists following the atheist Charvak. Only they who are occupied with thoughts of the future are darshi, seers of the truth, and atma kalyanakami, desirous of the soul's welfare. Krishna re Thakur mor, Krishna mora pran, more se korilo, kashta pashana saman. O Krishna, my Lord, O Krishna, my life. He has made me like wood or stone. This is in the state of separation, the only thing to chant and sing. Krishna is my treasure. Krishna is the wealth of my life. He is my life. Krishna alone is the object of my vows, recitations, and austerities. Krishna's name is my bhajan and worship. The sadhak and sadhika who have gained knowledge of their eternal relationship and have offered up their lives have no other form of contemplation besides thoughts of Krishna. They simply cannot. Tomar ichaya mor jivana maran. It is by your will that I live or die. The living entity reaps good and bad in the world as per the fruits of his karma. Hence, hanti rakshati chaivatma hyasat sadhu samacharam. The Atma, the Supreme Soul, slays those who engage in sinful acts and protects those who are saintly. This is real darshan. Sri Bhagavan and his devotees, as well as the whole of creation, are conquered only by love, affection, and attachment. The spiritual debt to Guru and Vaishnavas can never be repaid. If one is indebted to them, or, in other words, connected in relationship, the destination of Goloka is inevitable. Hence, wants to have this sort of debt. Sri Krishna Chandra, who sports in the forests of Vrindavan, is situated solely as a son of the gopis due to their parental love. Yet again, in Sakyara, he is occupied with eating lunch on the banks of the Yamuna and playing with his friends. Other times, he is also the presiding deity of conjugal love. If his mother did not have immaculate Vatsalya Bhav, she would not have him as her son. Then again, if he did not eternally possess putratva, the quality of being a son, he would not even be able to address her as mother. Wanting to become a son and the eternal status of being a son are not the same thing. One is an affair particular to this mundane creation, and the other is a not perfect mood. Therefore, since love, attachment, affection, and possessiveness are introspective functions, they are not affected by any form of social shame or formality. Someone who is reluctant to do something will not get a good result. This is a universally accepted fact. Hence, in this case, there is no cause for misunderstanding. Oh God. Okay, guys, wait 1 second. I just need to go up because right here it says Krishna Navamititi, all lowercase italicized. And here it says Hasta Yukta Navami. I personally like the TTs to be capitalized. Anyhow, okay. Where am I? There. Okay. This time on the 30th of Posha, Friday, it was Krishna Navami Titi, but the Hasta constellation was 2 days earlier. I did not understand on which day you offered Puspanjali, oblation of flowers, and partook of nice prasad. Though every day you offer bhog and take prasad, the prasad on this day was surely remarkable. Otherwise, you would have not mentioned it in the letter. Bhakti pushpa kotapai, bhakti chandananai, ki diye pujibo ami. Where to find the flowers of devotion? There is no sandalwood of devotion either. What will I worship with? This sort of thought is real Puspanjali. Inner Shraddha, faith, bhakti, devotion, anurag, spontaneous attachment, is the real argya, a mixture of water, sandalwood, flowers, etc. That is what satisfies and pleases the Lord of the heart. This is the necessary provision for the path of sadhan bhajan and the test. You will certainly pass this sort of test. This is my wish and heartfelt blessing. Read and study Shri Gaudiya Patrika, Jaiva Dharma, Shikshamrita, and Shri Harinam Chintamani, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Naradiya Purana, and other books in a regulated manner. There shouldn't be a comma there, I don't think, right? Also, maintain a daily practice of puja and archana, etc. If you chant a fixed number of Shrinam, Shri Bhagavan reveals his sarup. Chant your Gayatri mantras every day at the 3-day. Maintain special eagerness and enthusiasm in performing the 9 limbs of bhakti. If you do properly, you will be able to obtain its direct result. I do not want anything from you. I am happy only if you do not maintain an earthly sort of connection and give and take with me. My desire in life is to selflessly be of help to others. I have gained this tendency from my supremely generous Sri Guru Padma. His renunciation and policy of generosity has stunned me and granted me his feet. His affection for his godbrothers and disciples has rendered me speechless. Without hesitation, he gave thousands and thousands of dhaka, rupees, to a person in need who asked for it. Though that person took it as a loan, he told this wretch to write it down as an expense. He used to say, it almost looks like, oh God. Like here when Srila Vāmana Gosvāmī is saying, this wretch, is he referring to himself? I think he must be referring to himself, not the person who took the money. But I'm not actually sure. Anyways, that's something to get clarified. He used to say, give to others with your right hand in a way that your left hand does not know. Though I had the opportunity and fortune to gain the proximity of such a liberated personality, an eternally perfected soul, due to my previous misdeeds, I have lost that kriti ratna. He who by his deeds is a jewel. That does not need to be square brackets. Within the mission, I have only one personal concern, and that is my own bhajan sadhan. If I deviate from that, then it would be breaking the policy of we are everyone for everyone. Every one of us is for everyone else. Sakaler tore, sakale amra, prateke amra, parer tore. By the strength of Guru's grace, I was, am, and always will be above misunderstandings. I will only be worry-free once you are all I will only be worry-free once you all are mentally at ease. Shakaler tore, shakale amra, patike amra, parer tore. That's a poem from Kamini Roy. When will you come to Sri Navadvip Dham Parikrama? I am worried because I saw you and did not write anything about that. I'm worried because I saw you did not write anything about that. I am, in a way, well. Please accept my affectionate blessings. Iti. Your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Cool. Root Mandri also likes the TTs with proper specific names to be capitalized. Yeah, I'm always on the side of wanting things to be capitalized rather than lower size italics. I'm actually hoping if we can change some of our standards. Hey, there's no space in between that. Okay. Letter 41. Those who chant Nam, and something I want to do is I want to make a central Google Doc, which will be all the GVP standards, and because sometimes there are some things that are not fully established, and so then we can make things clear, and we can make our officials completely standard and uniform for all the books. And whenever anybody's working on a book, they just consult that main central document. Something like that's already been done a long time ago, but it needs a lot more. Okay. Those who chant Nam and Gayatri have no need for demigod amulets. kavachas. Do not be lazy about siddhanta. A philosophical conclusion is only to be accepted if it's favorable to bhajan. Refuting misconceptions is guru seva and not contrary to genuine humility. Performing kirtan of Harikatha is imbued with life and changes hearts. Oh, this is probably something. There's this devotee who's joining. His name is Radha Krishnan or something. You'd probably like to see this because he was asking about that. Okay. Kalyani Yasu. Dear blank, I have received your letter. It is particularly delightful news that you all have returned home from Navadip without any I left Navadip with Jayadev and arrived here at the Puri Mat yesterday. I had to come because of some especially urgent matters concerning the Mat here. I will only stay 4 or 5 days. From Puri, I will go to Kolkata this upcoming 2nd April. On the way, I will stay at Kharagpur for 1 day. On 4th April, I will go from Kolkata to Diamond Harbor. I like Diamond Harbor. That's where one of my favorite Kirtaniyas lives. From there, the next day, I will go to Sundarban, Moipit. I know Moipit. There are 3 days of lectures in this region. On 13th April, I will go from Sundarban to Navadvip. And on 14/4/77, I will travel to Mathura via the Tufan Express. Oh my God, Tufan's like the worst train. From Mathura on 21/4/77, 8th. I am hoping to reach Behrampur with Sundarananda. Sundarananda, we're going to hear a lot about him later on. It's actually quite pathetic. Okay. The comments a certain Grihastha devotee astrologer made about you on the train back from Navadip and the rituals he prescribed may have some partial truth. He likely says these things in a general way. You have nothing to worry about. You do not need to wear any sort of amulet, kavacha, for Shani and Rahu. If you need, I will make and give you a Nishringa kavacha. Those who have taken shelter of Shrinam are initiated in a Vishnu mantra and are chanting Gayatri at the 3 junctures of the day, have no need to wear any sort of amulet or remnant garlands from various presiding demigods or goddesses. That only invokes nam aparad. Only those who have no faith in Shrinam offer these sorts of erroneous instructions and derive pleasure from doing so. The association of sight of an immaculately pure Vaishnav who has taken shelter of Shrinam, whether a householder or renunciate, is extremely rare. Most people in the world are resorting to karma jada smartavad, reward-seeking ritualism, and prakrit sahajyavad, mundane sentimentalism, and belittling simple Vaishnav dharma to the public. Vivartavad, the impersonalist doctrine, wants to bleach their brains. Those who want real well-being maintain caution and alertness in regard to sadhan bhajan at all times. If one does not have knowledge of tattva siddhanta, advancement in bhajan is not possible. That is why it is written in Charitamrita, Adi Lila 2:117. Siddhanta bolia chitte na koro ulas, jahan krishne laghe sudrida manas. Do not be lazy about siddhanta. Whereby the mind becomes firmly fixed upon Krishna. Do not accept any sort of misleading teachings or instructions from sahajya, nam aparadi people. Whatever you hear, you should only accept it when you have confirmed it with the views and reasonings of Scripture. A statement is worth accepting if it is favorable to bhajan, and if it is contradictory to that, then it is to be wholly rejected, just as you would reject vile company. To refute misconceptions is guru seva. If at any point one can understand that giving misleading teachings, one should, in a civil manner, refute them and establish faultless siddhanta. Doing so is the ideal of conviction in service to Guru. If despite knowing and hearing the truth, one conceals it, hypocrisy finds its outlet, and that entails a lapse of duty. This, refuting someone's views, is never contrary to humility or amani manada dharma. Wow, this is so good. The frivolous sentiments of prakrit sahajas have ulterior motives and spawn more or less from selfishness. In the name of Vaishnavism, they cultivate attachment to material objects and the accumulation of prestige. A person who thirsts for bhajan never lacks simplicity. Hence, the dedication of their every effort is for Krishna's sake. Hence, the dedication of their every effort for Krishna's sake is beautifully proven in all respects. You should utilize whatever knowledge of scripture you have, and taking the support of but a particle of Guru and Vaishnav's mercy, refute the impropriety. This is so good. I'm going to save this. Tato dusangam utsrija satsu sajita buddhiman. Therefore, giving up bad association, an intelligent person should associate with saintly personalities. Remember this. By this, you will be able to perceive Guru and Vaishnava's direct mercy in your heart. Performing kirtan of Harikatha is called preaching. As it is imbued with life, it enters the innermost chambers of the heart, so sweetly there. That is what changes a man's heart. Man thereby gains a new divine life. You should preach Harikatha with enthusiasm. Never be distracted by concerns of what to eat, where, or where to live. Yoga kshema vahamyaham. I bear the burden of their necessities and safeguard what they have. Steady your heart by studying the statement of the Gita. The longing for service means service is one's life. That is something gained by patient enthusiasm. What more can I say? Accept my boundless, affectionate blessings. I will answer your other letters later. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Oh, that was so good. And I think I should probably give a definition of amani manata dharma in the letter. Oh God, this is gold. Okay. What letter is that? That is letter 41. 1 second. Letter 41. Hey. How come it didn't copy everything? Anyways, let me try again. Miscons. There. Okay, now let's try. Oh, it did copy everything. Sorry, I got confused. There. There. All right. Let's continue on. Okay, Manjari, Haribol. Okay. Letter 42. Establishing Shri Nilachal Gauriya. If one is not partial, one cannot defend the principles of true religion. Why does this have quotation? Different types of charity. Instructions from Bhagavatam on building temples. Kir Chora Gopinath. Realizing Bhagavan's mercy requires the strength of sadhan. This is written to Umadiri in 1977. Snehas Padasu. Ma Uma. Trying to appease everyone's mind leads to no task being successful. In all such matters, you need to have some of your own independence. Not everyone is ready to take responsibility, but every hero is very busy trying to show cause when it comes to the God, I don't know how to say that word. Wow, it looks like there's a lot of ways of saying this word. Oh God, I don't know. What is it called? ISP. And that word is, when it comes to the whatever, which means the small, precise, or trivial details of something. Okay, so no one is ready to take responsibility, but every hero is very busy trying to show cause. Is it show cause or showcase? When it comes to that word of the mission. Yeah, everybody thinks whatever they do is such a big deal and they try to show it off. Oh yeah, I wash the pots because that's the most important service there is. Who is going to bear the costs? There is no arrangement there's no arrangement for whose cooperative efforts will run the mat and mission, but the budget is fixed. Can there be any logic? I don't know this. I've never seen this word. Can there be any logicality to this? The real issue is that while no one is willing to take responsibility for running the mat and mission, they will not stop throwing their weight around. That is why I've been sitting silent in regard to the affairs of the Puri Mat for 4 years. I have seen who has bravado and how much, and I have also seen how much they have an actual sense of responsibility. This mat is not my personal asset, and I do not want permanent settlement there. Still, apparently, Shri Nilachala Gaudiya Mat belongs to Vāmana Māhārāja. Once the work is finished here, the deities are installed, and the mat starts functioning. My responsibility is finished. I am not going to come here considering it my birthright and sit on the beach to enjoy the breeze of the Bay of Bengal or count the waves. It is only proper that the Samiti should have a preaching center in this famous holy place. This is all I have endeavored to achieve. I have no hope for personal profit, worship, or prestige in this, and I have no intention of advertising any sort of bravado. I have not asked anyone for any sort of financial support for Shri Nilachala Gaudiya Mat, and nor will I ever do so in the future. Of their own accord, a few people have made some small contributions, which I have accepted. I think it proper to express gratitude to them, and so I will put nameplates up containing their names. It is not possible in accordance with government law to list the amount of money donated on the namestones, so the names will be listed according to merit. Those who tossed Shri Nilachala Gaudiya Mat to the wayside and secretly siphoned funds to other mats will certainly warrant a critical review in the future. If you take someone else's things without saying anything, it is called stealing, and once you have taken those things without saying anything, even if you say something later, it is still considered theft. That is what the law says. If it's a crime and confess to it later, it is still considered a crime. That cannot be proven to have been justified. A foregone conclusion suggests impropriety and indiscretion. Similarly, if confession and compulsion are used to conceal fault, I also consider that injustice and dishonesty. It is my firm belief that if there is any sort of partiality in the management and administration of the mat and mission, no one can ever be benefited. Shri Bhagavan will grace you with the intelligence to understand all these matters someday. Śrīmad Bhagavatam 10:22-35 says, Pranar arter dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sadha. One is affected through one's life energy, money, intelligence, and words. As one acquires paramartha, the supreme wealth, through wealth, which forever entails suffering, it becomes sublime through dedication, or, in other words, through full surrender or the offered heart and soul. Man's hard-earned money is dearer to him than his own life heirs, which is why people trade any person or thing of this world to hold on to this artha, which is actually an anartha, non-wealth. I think there should be a non-wealth or an obstacle. So it actually becomes an anartha and brings only sorrow in the beginning, middle, and end. If someone can, with his or her intelligence, utilize that wealth for paramartha, then that man or woman is truly intelligent. Selfless charity has no comparison. Generally, people give charity for the sake of mundane prestige. They retain some ulterior motive in giving said charity. Therefore, they do not reap the actual results. That is why in the Gita and Bhagavat, 3 types of charity are mentioned: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. This is important. One second. This is from letter 42. And we read more about charity before also. Maybe I could put that quote along with it. Hare Krishna, Vipin Bhadraji. And yes, very true, Manjari, good point. Confession and compulsion can be used to conceal fault. Yep. Sometimes duplicitous leaders will hide behind the smokescreen of their followers in self-flagellating confessions. Yep. That is true. But yeah, it was a very good point. Mamarchana stapane shraddha swata sanghatya chodyama udyano pavana krida pura mandira karmani. In this, Śrīmad Bhagavatam 11:11:38, and subsequent verses, Bhagavan states, "You should serve my home by beholding, touching, worshipping, serving, praising, and bowing down to my Shri Vigraha and my devotees, by performing kirtan of my qualities, becoming attached to hearing about me, meditating on me, submitting all profits and achievements unto me, accepting a position of servitude to me, submitting one's heart and soul, performing kirtan of my birth and activities, observing fasts and sacred occasions, singing, playing instruments, dancing, participating in Ishtagoshti discussions and festivals in my temple, and on annual holiday offering gifts, showing love and attachment for the establishment of my deity form, and endeavoring to build flower gardens, orchards, playgrounds, fields, cities, or residential areas, and temples, either alone or with others, and, like a servant, with genuine sincerity, cleaning the Sri Mandir, reapplying cow dung, and irrigating and landscaping the grounds." I think there needs to be semicolons in this. It's so confusing. There totally needs to be semicolons in this. Anyways, I'm going to just highlight this whole section. I am delighted to know you participated in a deity installation festival and Niyam Seva in Shri Kshetra. Only you can say whether or not Remuna's Kirchor Gopinath will give you his darshan. In any case, if you are exclusively devoted to him, he can steal kheer for you. He could steal kheer for you too and feed it to you. Darshan is a general privilege. When you have this much eagerness, then I think he will surely give you darshan. When you are on your way back from Puri, that will be possible. Shri Bhagavan is omniscient. He fulfills our innermost desires. His mercy is also causeless and unpredictable. The living entity cannot even begin to comprehend his mercy and favor. That is why he is Durgeya Tattva, a truth seldom known. If a person wishes to realize his mercy, he needs the strength of sadhan. This causeless compassion cannot be experienced as long as mundane egotism or perception remains. Only by sincere inclination to serve does it become a matter of realization. Iti, forever your well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Letter 40. The service ethic of a true servant. Better to live at a distance from the dham than risking offenses. The joy of service is a devotee's sole motive. The beauty of yukta vairagya is lost on impersonalists. Thinking one is unworthy to serve grants one the qualification to serve. That's a good point. Paroksha, indirect darshan, versus pratyaksha, direct darshan. Worrying about the well-being of one's soul is true selfishness. I think that needs to be said differently. Is like auspicious selfishness is the right kind of auspicious selfishness. Okay. There's a diacritic missing in Navadvip. I just like to look at the comments. Okay. Snehaspadasu. Ma Uma, you write so many letters, one after another, yet never lose your patience. So I cannot help but praise you with 100 mouths for your patience and tolerance. You are especially skillful for having broken my Jad Bharat-like silence after so long and activating my pen, and for that I am conveying to you infinite thanks. I am truly amazed and even stunned to see that your enthusiasm for writing letters never faltered, despite not having the convenience of my responses, as I did not want to respond. I love how honest that is, as I just didn't want to respond. May Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Vinod Vihariju grant you even more enthusiasm and patience. I kind of like this, even though it's no teaching or anything, but it's just nice clarification of Umadi. I'm going to share that. This letter 43. Okay. Do not be disturbed about my physical health, because, if need be, I must take my sick body out preaching, and there is no be upset about that. Just going to see a good doctor does not rid one of disease. The illness will not subside until the results of one's karma are exhausted. Rest that is devoid of service makes one deharami, body indulgent, and geharami, home indulgent. Auspiciousness lies in thinking about service in all conditions of life. You should know service to be real leisure. Leisure. If I do not become disturbed, no one can cast me into inconvenience. My favorite secluded environment or place is wherever I have the convenience to chant Shri Harinam and gain the fortune to hear and recite Harikatha and the scriptures. It is wherever bhajan happens. Cultivation of Shri Nam and Bhagavat Katha and association of sadhus is true solitude. That is the only thing I yearn for. The service ethic of a servant who has no place for rest or holiday, the service ethic of a servant has no place for rest or holiday, because for a real servant, a condition averse to service is beyond the scope of imagination. Whoa, that is great. I love that quote. Okay, let's. Letter 43. I think that's probably the topic Srila Vāmana Gosvāmī Maharaj repeats the most, is about service and rest. Like, maybe I'll make a Gaudiya Kirtan article, and I'll just post all his quotes on this topic. One second. Okay. Why would Mayapur Dham reveal itself to a sevak or sevika if he or she does not worship its 9 forests, which are the splendor of its form? If one considers Sri Dham to be in mundane township, then offenses to the Dham befall one. Only by Sri Dham's mercy can one realize its transcendental nature and appearance, and only then can one become acquainted with its true compassion. Maya kripa kori jal utaya jokon, anki deke suvishala chinmaya bhavan. When Maya has mercy and lifts the veil, then the eyes see the past spirit. When Maya has mercy and lifts the veil, then the eyes see the vast spiritual abode. This is transcendental vision. Disregards various expressions for Sri Dham, for Dhameshwar, the Lord of that holy abode, and for the sadhus who have taken shelter of the Dham, is also considered one of the offenses to the Dham. Only if one gains the mercy of Sri Gaur Dham, can one attain the qualification to serve the transcendental Vrajadham. That is why the eternally perfected intimate associate of Sri Gaur, Mahajan Shilanartham Thakur Mahashaya, has sung, Shri Goda Mandala Bhumi Je Bhajane Chintamani Tar Hoy Braja Bhume Vasa. Those who know this land of Sri Goda to be made of wish-fulfilling gemstone attain residence in the land of Raj. Therefore, rather than inviting dham aparad upon oneself, it is much better to live at a distance and, recognizing that one's own misfortune and bad luck is responsible, yearn to serve Sri Dham and the residents of the Dham and remember them. These sorts of thoughts prove favorable to amani manada dharma. That's a really interesting instruction. I'm going to save this. This is important, especially for those living in the Dham. I'll share this with Kishore, who just moved to Mayapur. 43. Okay. The Sevak's realization of his incapacity and disqualification inspires him to serve Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. Service is neither possible with an attitude that is prone to Service is never possible with an attitude that is prone to material enjoyment. So if one adopts caution in all areas, one develops finesse in service. Which is why I venerate with caution Vando mui savadhanamate. The devotee's sole motive is to be devoted to the joys of serving Guru and Vaishnavas, and that alone is the main connection needed to attract and attain their transcendental affection. There is no place for mundane exchanges in this. It is only proper that spiritually minded persons be concerned with artha, wealth, because artha, artha facilitates the accumulation of paramartha. Only devotees realize and appreciate this supreme truth. One ought to pursue the ultimate good of one's good with one's life, money, intelligence, and words. This is a truth only the servant realizes. Is there no reference for this? I'm going to look this up again. The Kevala, what number are we reading? Okay, we're going to finish with this letter. The Kevala Advaitavadi monists, who are absorbed in contemplation of a featureless divinity, adopt a dry and empty sort of renunciation referred to as markat vairagya, monkey mendicancy, and trapping themselves in the idea that one should always consider wealth to be worthless, artham anartham bhavayin nityam. So thinking that, they advertise their personal heroics by rejecting even those objects of the senses that are favorable to the service of Sri Hari, thinking them to be useless. Is there a reference for this also? The beauty of service found in Yukta Vairagya, holistic renunciation, is never theirs to realize or appreciate. Tomar dhan tomaya diye, tomara hoye rai. I give to you already your wealth, and thus I remain yours. This is beyond their comprehension. I'm so confused because didn't it just show, anyways, I'll have to look into this later on, but didn't it just show this in, yeah, we'll have to go back and look this up. I'll do it later so you guys don't have to wait for me. This is beyond their comprehension. Everyone is sincerely and excellently serving Guru. This sort of attitude aids the performance of bhajan and is uplifting. Vaishnava hoya apanare mane trinadham. When one becomes a Vaishnav, one naturally considers oneself lowlier than a blade of grass. The thought, I am worthy of rendering service, grants one the qualification to serve. yearning for unwavering conviction in Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, for firm devotion, and for a selfless propensity to serve, constitutes the innermost motive of the true servant. Guru and Vaishnavas do not nurture within themselves hopes of attaining any of mundane respect or status available in this world. Rather, they are the embodiments of the following: Pratishtara Swabhava E Jagata Vidita, Je Navanche Tarahoy Vidhata Nirvita. The nature of prestige is well known in this world. Those who do not hate are blessed with it by fate. I think that's in reference to Madhavendra Puri, right? I don't know, maybe not. Never are they agitated or distressed by the I don't know how to say the word. I need to learn how to read. What is this called? IST? Whatever. IPS? I forgot. Childishly silly and immature. Okay, so never are they agitated or distressed by the, whatever that word is, puerile? By the puerile devotions or remarks of the material world. They do not see the faults in others. This is the exemplary quality and speciality of their immortal character. Whether I stay in Navadvip or go out preaching, I have come to regard both situations as one. I go out traveling for the service of the Mat and Sri Navadvip, for Mat's servants, for my Shiksha Gurus, and for the Sri Vigraha established there in the Sri Mat. And I go out to preach the message of Sri Guru and Bhagavan and propagate Sri Nam. Therefore, if the motive is one and the same in both circumstances, then it is my firm belief that whoever comes to the Sri Mat at whatever time to take darshan, there is no chance of their being deprived of darshan, a darshan yoga. In this case, the superiority and reality of paroksha, indirect, invisible darshan, versus pratyaksha, direct, visible darshan, is a matter of special experience and realization. This will make sense to you someday. Wow. This is really nice. This would be good for traveling preachers. I feel bad about having to travel. Okay, letter 43. Okay. Seva se niyam. Service, that is the rule. If service is not our motive, then the mat is the same thing as living anywhere else. There's no joy or charm in taking my ill body out preaching. Many think, even if he were told to stay in the mat, he would not, because everyone is attached to money. Then again, others want to say, he can't eat the bogra, the unhusked, musty, fat grain autumn rice that is mixed with grit and husks. So he can't eat that bogra rice in the mat. So he finds it better to stay away. Someone else spreads rumors. He goes around outside eating rich dishes, touring about, and to keep resident sevaks in check, he sends them a measly 100 or to 150 rupees a month and avoids his responsibilities. But the individuals who are circulating all this gossip share the same responsibility to take care of the mat. How much financial support are how much financial support are any of them offering per year to the central mat? As soon as the topic of support comes up, no one has anything to say, because then the responsibility would fall on their shoulders. Up till now, these same people have come to me somehow or other. Keep managing things. Don't let go of your responsibility. Today, they are saying, stop for the mat, then everything will be taken care of nicely. How does that reconcile things? Those who criticize for no good reason have facilities like stoves, heaters, and cookers to prepare rice and mashed potatoes in their own time. They order their own milk and have their own independent arrangements for food and drink. They offer lip service, saying, "You should sit here in the mat. Don't worry about anything. Just start your writing work." But when it is time to do something, everyone is indifferent to the wondrous need for rice. By mouth, they say yes, but by actions, they are saying no. Good work will never be possible with this sort of two-faced policy. It is a matter of great delight that you have accepted a vow of service to provide Shri Jagannath Dev with outfits. One second, I just want to see. Lip service. Dang it. I'm just wondering if lip service should have a hyphen in it. Sorry, I really shouldn't be looking at this now, but I can't help myself. One second. Lip service. No hyphen in lip service. All right. All right. And I like this quote up here. This is, if service is not our motive, then living in the mat is the same as living anywhere else. Let me save that. Letter 43. Okay. Okay. Yep, Root Manjari, cool. Okay, cool. I said it right. Awesome. Yes, the article about service facing good vibes. Yep. All right. So where are we? Okay. I'm sad to know that you wrote 2 letters but did not post them because you thought I would be annoyed. If I get a letter from you, be it sooner or be it later, I always respond. Who is not happy to receive letters from one who is dear to them? So there is no reason for you to hesitate in sending me the letters. I have decided to go to Puri Dham, but it will not be possible for me to halt in Chunchura on the way. When I am on my way back from there, I will try to go to Chunchura. Blank Māhārāja asked for money for the Shiliguri Mat from a person that Hare Krishna Prabhu, and I know. Sorry, he asked for money from the Shiliguri Mat from a person that Hare Krishna Prabhu and I know. That person had agreed to give 5,000 rupees in the service of the Puri Mat. Blank collected this money and wants to use it as he pleases to make a mosaic in the Puri Mat. I seen the unredacted verse, and it was Parijatak Maharaj. I went to so much effort to explaining to him it would be better to complete the half-finished rooms first, which will also increase the mat's income. Even though I have asked him not to do this, he has gone ahead with this work to show off his capabilities. Now everyone is whimsical and does as they please. Those who have taken responsibility to forbid certain activities and provide discipline are speechless and are modest persons. There is no possibility of a transgression of etiquette or offense if you write a letter to the servant in the middle of writing to the master. Even people in spiritual society need to abide somewhat by worldly conduct and behavior. Since Sarayu Didi's body is ill, to look for the diacritics for that. Since Sarayu Didi's body is ill, you have become duty-bound to return to Chunchura swiftly. You have a sense of duty and responsibility to her. She was central to your entrance on this spiritual path. You cannot disregard that. Therefore, you will surely have to endeavor to serve her, even though she does not expect that. Wherever a human being gains the good fortune of being fearlessly and uninhibitedly engaged in hearing, chanting, etc., receiving darshan and rendering service. Receiving darshan and rendering service is always a desirable environment. Sorry, let me reread that. Wherever a human being gains the good fortune of being fearlessly and uninhibitedly engaged in hearing, chanting, etc., receiving darshan and rendering service. Okay. The opportunity to gain love and compassion arises only if one can be selfish in the truest sense. There is no cause for the master to be annoyed or disturbed by that. The sadhak or sadhika reaps real well-being precisely by worrying about the well-being of his or her soul, and that is true selfishness. In the absence of direct association with devotees, poroksha sadhu sangha, internal association with saints, or contemplating and remembering Sri Bhagavan's beautiful name, form, qualities, etc., aids in the performance of bhajan. Separation from Bhagavan and Bhagavan's devotees makes the heart restless and anxious, but there is no material sorrow or suffering in that. It's important. There's no material suffering in being in separation from the Vaishnavas. I wonder if there's a better word than true. I have to look at the Bengali and see if there's like a positive word. I understood that you have given Shripad Trivikramaraj the copy of Padma Puran. I understood that you gave him the copy of Padma Puran I keep for letters and reference. Ask him to return it to the library in Navadvip once he is finished with his work. My Vedanta Darshan, 4 volumes, is with him. If he does not need it anymore, please ask him to return it to me. You have prayed to develop full surrender, and therein lies the very purport of the word Atmasat, one's own. The very fact that you are my unworthy, fallen, destitute daughter makes you most worthy and rightly situated on this path of bhakti. This is my sincere and loving blessings to you. How is your mother? You can send your response to this letter to the Golok Ganja Mat address. What more? Iti, forever your well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. I guess Golok Ganja should be spelled like, how is it spelled here? Oh, never mind. All right, that's our reading for today. Where is everybody? All right, thank you so much for reading with me. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Gurudeva Ki Jai. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Jiva Gosvāmī Pada Ki Jai. Tudir Shubhatirubhav Titi Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hari Hari Bo. Hari Bo. Jai Rup Manjari. Hari Bo.